Good day everyone, I am Crizia Jane Sostino Cartagena, and for today we are having an experiment called simulating ocean acidification at home. So before we start our experiment, first we're going to introduce our materials, of course. First is the two clear cups or glasses. Next is the tap water. I already put tap water inside. Next is the vinegar and two pieces of eggshells, and of course the spoon. Okay, to start our experiment, first we have to label our two cups as the normal ocean and the acidic ocean. Next we will going to pour equal amounts of water into each cup, which is this. And our third procedure, we will add 2 to 3 tablespoons of vinegar to the acidic ocean. Acidic ocean. One. Two. Three. Next to that, we're going to place one eggshell piece into each cup. And then we are going to observe both cups immediately and record the observation. So for initial observation, you can see here, this is the normal ocean. There is no reaction. And then we will look to the acidic ocean for our initial observation. You can see here that there are small bubbles forming in the eggshell, and it's actually popping up, or it's going up. Okay, so to observe more what will going to happen, we set a timer for 30 minutes. So now it's already 30 minutes, as you can see. We will go to the observation. This is the normal ocean. Still no reaction to the eggshell. And then to the acidic ocean, there are more visible bubbles in the eggshell, so you can see, and then the surface also, it's slowly forming little foam, and the eggshell is slowly getting upward or float. Now we'll wait for 24 hours. Now for our 24 hours observation, we can see here the normal ocean. Still no reaction. And then the acidic ocean, you can see there are more bubbles in the eggshell. And the eggshell here and up, it is slowly breaking, and it floats in the surface completely. So in this portion of the video vlog, we're going to answer the guide questions that related to our experiment. So the first question is, what differences did you observe between the two setups? So the main difference was the chemical reaction. So in the normal ocean, the eggshell remained unchanged, while in the acidic ocean, the eggshell immediately began to produce bubbles and eventually started to float. Number 2, what happened to the eggshell in the acidic solution? So the eggshell undergo a chemical reaction with the acid in the vinegar. So this caused the shell to slightly break, as you can see. and produce gas bubbles that made the eggshell lighter enough to float. For the number 3, why were bubbles formed in the acidic ocean set up? So why do bubbles form? So we all know that bubbles are carbon dioxide gas. So when the acid of vinegar reacts with the calcium carbonate in the eggshell, it releases carbon dioxide. That's why the bubbles form. So number 4, what is the main component of the eggshell? So the main component of the eggshell is calcium carbonate. So this is the same material that you can find in the other sea creatures like crabs, clams, seashells, and corals rather. Number 5, how does this experiment simulate ocean acidification? So the vinegar represents an acidic ocean and the eggshell represents marine organisms with shell. So the experiment shows how increase of acidity can weaken the shell of the sea life or organisms. And last question is, what could happen to marine organisms in if ocean acidity increases? So marine organisms like corals and shells would struggle to build and maintain their shell. If their shell dissolves or become too weak, they become vulnerable to predators, which can lead to a decrease in their population and may disrupt the entire food web. So before we end, we have the conclusion and one real life situation that can affect how this affect environment and human. So for the conclusion, so based on the observation, it can be concluded that an acidic environment has a destructive effect on calcium carbonate structure rather. So while the eggshell here in a normal water remained intact, the eggshell in the acidic solution began to release gas. So this proves that higher acidity in the water directly weakens the shell of organisms, making a significant threat to our marine ecosystem. And for the real life situation, one major real life impact is the bleaching and death of our coral reefs. So we all know coral reefs are made of calcium carbonate, right? So as the ocean becomes more acidic, corals cannot rebuild quickly. This can affect humans because corals protect the coastlines from storms, and it also provides habitat or home to the fish. That the fish is very important to many people because they rely on it for food and even in income. So that is the end of our environment about the ocean acidification at home. So I hope that you learned something about this experiment. Thank you.